Hello everyone, it's your boy Matt here, coming to you from Canberra, Australian Capital Territory. Today I am doing a Tac0 admin video for 28th of May 2025. There are two primary points of order today. These are current activities for Tac0 and David McBryde's present situation. David McBryde is a whistleblower who has a very important message, and I'll get to him as our second order of business today. So current activities for Tac0. I'm returning to practice, so that means that a large amount of my attention, whether it be through streams or anything of this nature, is going to involve me going rehashing therapeutic practice, looking at modern research methods such as using AI for literature reviews and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a lot more practical and technical. So you get to follow along with me. I'll probably make more use of YouTube than I would like to, because when I tend to try and do revision, what I do is that I rewrite one of the textbooks that I've read, mainly Act Made Simple or Marshall Linehan's DBT Skills Manual. So that's how I like to encode information. But because I have an audience, I'll probably be using a lot more YouTube than I'm used to. That is so you get to come along with me in my journey. So items which I'm going to be rehashing on, if you're interested, is Goodyear Brown's Big Behaviours in Small Containers and Marshall Linehan's DBT Skills Manual. So those are two very important texts in developmental psychology, and that may be where I'm working next. Not as a developmental psychologist, but as someone who is completing their practicing certification. Second point of order, David McBryde. So David McBryde, what he did is that he tried to get some classified information available to the public, and he was successful with doing that. What had happened is that a group of Australian SAS, our special forces, who were operating in Afghanistan during our conflict there, were killing civilians, and it had become almost a routine thing. David McBryde was the legal officer who was attached to the Australian SAS. He was responsible for authorising operations, and what he was finding was that a lot of operations were being conducted, a lot of killings were being conducted, which did not meet the very generous rules of engagement that the Australian forces were given. And what he found as he tried to blow the whistle on this internally first, so he went through the full kind of escalation for an issue like this. He started internal. He said, hey, I think we're murdering people. And what he found out is that the way that our defence force operates is that they are far more interested in making the minister look good and their boss's boss look good than operational effectiveness. So all of these war crimes by the Australian SAS were thrown away and not investigated thoroughly enough, because that would undermine the authority of the minister and the senior army leadership. This ended up being incredibly counterproductive for our Hearts and Minds mission, such as what was happening in Afghanistan, where we were trying to bring the local population on board with us and killing their civilians in mass, and it became an institutionalized doctrine for the Australian SAS, because their idea is that if we kill enough of the people here and we make the locals afraid enough of us, they're not going to fight back. And it was actually successful, believe it or not. They pacified their regions very, very well. But it did not meet the objectives, and it undermined the larger mission in Afghanistan. So David McBryde, he blew the whistle on this. He was sent to prison for leaking documents. His ability to have due process was thoroughly interfered with by our intelligence apparatus. And I'm talking about David McBryde today because there was a gathering which was mentioned on a Facebook page, and I'm not sure if it was true or not, because it's very easy to disrupt and troll people creating fake pages and fake events. it was something about a sentencing. My understanding is that he's already been sentenced. I need to follow his case more thoroughly, but what I would advise you to do is I'd like you to look up the details for the local prison here in Canberra, and I'd like you to write a letter to David McBryde. I'm going to be writing a letter today as well. And what we're doing by supporting David McBryde is that we're trying to get our institutions to act effectively. So David McBryde isn't some die-hard lefty. Okay, he went for the he tried to be a parliamentarian for the Liberal Party. He is not a pacifist. He was a person who was totally in line with the stated values, who acted totally in line with the stated values of the Australian Defence Force. His behaviour has been heroic in this situation. What has happened to him is a reflection of our systems not working, and they're not behaving to standard. We're not able to do the military operations that our government paid billions of dollars to have the capacity for, because our institutions, the culture of our institutions is not at a high enough standard, and the processes and procedures of these institutions are not at a high enough standard to be able to support any kind of operation. Because if the only objective of the staff in the department is to make their defence minister look good, their minister look good, and their senior leadership look good, then they're no longer oriented towards the project in front of them. They're oriented into maintaining a narrative and interpreting information along that narrative. It's unscientific, and the Enlightenment humanism that has been very hard fought for our culture. It's what has allowed our culture to thrive. If the tenets of scientific humanism are not applied in our government, then we're in a pretty bad place. So that's my Tac0 admin video for 28th of May 2025. Have a lovely day, everyone.